there's been protests every single day since Donald Trump was inaugurated.
That's fine.
And
let him protest. Let him protest because look, we had a growing left-right schism in this country where you had the collectivists, the left-wingers, the people who were for more and more entitlements and more free stuff and less discipline, whether it was in the social area or the economic area. And then you have this increasingly frustrated middle class, lower class, and in some cases even upper class that was fed up with it and put Trump in office. This is not time for him to say, I love you all, and some of you are right, and I'm going to give up on some of this stuff and just to placate you and make the protests go away. And the protests, in a weird way, Marvin, the protests are playing into the hands of the people who support Trump. What do you think Berkeley is going to do? I was a lifelong supporter of Berkeley. They sent me this. They sent me this questionnaire saying we like to stay in touch with our alumni, and we'd like to ask you some questions. I said, don't even bother asking. I know what this survey is about. And after the riots and the university's attitude towards free speech and essentially using violence to prevent invited conservative speakers on campus, my financial support is terminated. And the reason they sent that survey out is because I'm probably not the only successful alumnus who reacted that way. And these left-wing protests, financed by God knows whom, but financed by somebody, are playing into the hands of what Trump is trying to do. The more protests, the more violence, the more overturned police cars, et cetera, the more the Democrats are going to lose ground, because this is precisely what middle-class America is sick and tired of.
Yeah, and I happen to agree with you about free speech because I thought what happened at Berkeley, if I had been there, I would like to hear what he had to say. I always like to hear, if I don't agree with someone, I want to hear the other side.
Well, of course.
So in case I can make an intelligent decision.
Keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer.
Exactly. So there's a certain amount of the protesting I understand because people are frustrated and people are angry.
Well, they're angry because Hillary was a shoo-in, and it was going to be another 4 to 8 years of what we already had. And they never, ever in their wildest imaginations believed that Donald Trump would get elected. And there's this shock and disbelief. And they're seeing, as in many cases, the free ride is over. The global warmists who got all these government grants, all of the NASA employees who NASA, instead of exploring space, which is what their mission is, had a Muslim awareness program, and they were told to embrace and help prove the truth of anthropogenic global warming, not NASA's mission at all. So all of the people that were hired at NASA to advance the cause of AGW, advance the cause of understanding Muslims, et cetera, these people are mad because the rug's been pulled out from under them. And there's people in universities like that where the flow of government money for climate change research is going to be stopped, et cetera. So when you introduce a radical change of direction, which in my judgment was unbelievably necessary. When you introduce a radical change of direction, the people who were on the gravy train before are going to be mad. So let them be mad. Let them pout. Let them be like little kids throwing tantrums. And again, it shows the immaturity of the left. Because when elections go against conservatives, you don't see a bunch of conservatives out rioting in the streets and burning police cars and erecting barricades and everything.
Because we're older.
We just, no, not necessarily. We just suck it up. And we said, well, okay, hopefully it'll turn out better next time. And meanwhile, we'll make the best we can of it. So all of this rioting and protest, it just reinforces the deeply held belief of the Trump supporters that the country was out of control, and now we've got a chance to recreate the country that we all grew up in.